We're dealing with French nobles, and we're dealing with literally the French royal family, Marie Antoinette, right, and King Louis's son. They're literally saying the Turners are the descendants, and that Verdiashi was literally, a descendant of Marie Antoinette too. So it's not just indigenous. If so, right? If it is right, maybe they're skipping a generation. We're gonna see if there's any links to Maison Rouge and Henry Turner historically listed as a child or even mentioned. And does the timelines match up? When was Henry Turner born? When did Maison Rouge? When was he born? Nobody asks these questions, right? And nobody cares to put sources when they're saying all these things. Something I just want to point out throughout this video, okay? Let's keep reading. It says here, Empress Delphi Kim, Washington, Washita, 1849 to 1966, reigned during the turbulent years of legal land reclamation. Since the day Empress Verdiashi became aware of the legacy of her family and our people, she spent hours of her life researching, fighting, and talking about the Washita Empire, its political, spiritual, and cultural aspects. Now, I want you to remind everybody when they're saying aware of the legacy of her family and our people. So again, according to Fredericks Washington, who's literally this is his family, he calls these same people who saying our people frauds. He's calling them frauds. So everything sounds good when you read a PDF like this and papers. Oh, everything sounds good. We the ancient ones. We the ancient ones. Is literally shout out to Top Cat, just like the Aboriginals. What? But what's your tribe? What actual tribe? Give me an actual tribe. Like what? Who? Who was she? Who? What person? What's her name? Who? Who do you descend from? Who exactly? Let's get specific. Continuing, it says, it is said when you are in the presence of the Empress Verdiashi, you can feel that vast and ancient flow of eternal energy. And I can believe that for sure. I can believe that for sure. Her Highness is soon to celebrate her 82nd birthday, and now we work to ensure her life's work is fulfilled. In her book, Return of the Ancient Ones, you can read the truth of the Washita Empire. Again, I want to remind everybody we read a little bit of it today, earlier, and we broke that down, and you see how it's a lot of biblical, Moorish, Pan-African views. Again, there was no source other than some Bible verses. Just want to point that out. We're going to continue to read that book too a little bit more as we go. It says here, our nationality is Washita. We are not those from Morocco. Our families married after they arrived in the Americas. After they arrived, so they weren't from here. So you weren't from here always. I thought you've been always here. So you guys got to make up your mind, because you guys keep telling me you've always been here. Now you're saying your families arrived in the Americas and married into the families. Okay. More from Mu and more from Morocco are not interchangeable. So they're Lemurians, okay? So they came from Lemuria, according to them. All of the land is the sacred trust of the original inhabitants, the Moors, before all treaty or land grants. So everything belonged to the Moors, all right? See how they just took all the land. It's mine, mine, mine. Everything is us. We everything. We own all the land. Well, what tied you to the land? Who? What ancestor? Can you show me? Tied you to this? That you're saying? Apart from Verdiashi, she has her history and genealogy. What do you have? Again, remember, Mr. Washington said these people are frauds. They're just using the name, creating a nation. And it sounds all good and everything, and they may have good intentions and everything, but Mr. Washington doesn't seem to think so. And that's Verdiashi's son. This very real and powerful distinction determines how we mold our spiritual consciousness, how we see time, calendar, and space. It is the difference between harmony and discord. In all our efforts, it is universal truth, therefore cosmic law. Washita is rising. All right, so yeah, again, it sounds awesome, and all power to anybody who's, trying to get out of their straw man and create something, do something better, get out of the corporation and stuff. And I just want to point out the phoenix is the imperial bird of the Washita Empire, huh? The phoenix. Remember the phoenix or the phoenix in my Thoth Part 2 video. If you guys, recommend, go ahead and checking that out. Bird of the Washita Empire, huh? The phoenix. Do something better, get out of the corporation and stuff. And just want to point out the phoenix is the imperial bird of the Wachita Empire. The phoenix. Remember the phoenix or the phoenix in my Thoth Part 2 video. If you guys, recommend go ahead and checking that out. Go back to that. That's all I'm going to say. And then the law of time. On page 2, this is what we have. It says here the law of time, synchronic wisdom of the ancient ones. So now we're going to read a little bit about this. It says everything is programmed by the law of time. The law of time is our ancient knowledge, seeming new. There has not been this level of new knowledge on a planetary scale through all of recorded history. The law of time has its base in the Olmec Mayan culture. Olmec Mayan culture. Now focus on all regions of our planet. The purpose of our Olmec Mayan culture, to plant the seed of the law of time, the knowledge of the Olmec Mayan time masters surpassed all knowledge. The basis of the knowledge of time is called the law of time. The law of time is not an invention. It has functioned since the origin of time. The law of time has governed all states of evolution. Trees are governed by the law of time, and the dolphins and the birds and all the species, they live according to the law of time. They live in the unconscious law of time. What we have here is that the law of time has become conscious. The law of time has put its nose above the waters and is now coming out of the water. As the law of time becomes conscious, this marks a great dividing line for ourselves. This dividing line is between the cosmic unconscious ones and the cosmic conscious ones, which are you. All right, so, all right, little philosophy there. I want to see where they get in the Olmec Mayan thing from, what codex or what exactly is. That would be interesting, so we can be able to go see that for ourselves too.